has arrived. And before we get to the film guide, this is what it looked like on the stat board. No way Alabama loses this game, but we all know Alabama lost the game. It is still a bone of contention with Bama fans everywhere. The film guy has arrived. Great to see you again, Brooks.
Yeah, no doubt, Paul. You pointed it out right there on the graphic. They did a lot of things to beat themselves, particularly in the turnover margin. But when you take a look at the film with this Oklahoma defense, I thought they did a tremendous job of forcing a lot of uncomfortability from this Alabama offense. Let's take a look at it. Honestly, this first possession of the football game for Alabama kind of dictates what we're talking about or displays what I'm talking about right here. First play of the game, we're trying to get the quarterback a nice, easy completion on 1st and 10. Alabama, a really pass-heavy football team on 1st and 10. We're trying to hook up with the tight end right here in a zone window. Got a nice pitch and catch for the quarterback and the tight end. It goes right through his fingertips, and we have a drop on 1st and 10. Now 2nd and 10 to start the football game. A couple plays later, now it's 3rd and 7, okay? And let's take a look at what Oklahoma's got right here. They're playing or rushing 4 and dropping 5, okay? They got a lot of big bodies back here covering up all of the options from Alabama. It's really a three-man concept. We got a clear out route right here from the number 2 wide receiver, and I want you to see how number 5 right here, a 6'5", 242-pound hybrid linebacker and safety, he's going to pass off this vertical to his safety. Safety's going to do a good job of taking that. Now we got a dig working back into this same window as Ty Simpson steps up into the pocket and looks over here. As he looks over here into the window, there's that big monster. He's 6'5", 242 pounds, really clouding the window. Ultimately, now we have to check the football down or look to check the football down. Let's look at what the underneath defenders are doing. They've gotten great depth to the sticks right here. Now they have an opportunity to rally to the football if it ultimately checks down. It does not, though, because Oklahoma is getting home with just a 4-man pass rush against that Alabama offensive line. So they get off the field on the first possession. Really a unforced error on 1st down, right? And then 3rd down, getting off the field, covering up all the options, and Marvin Jones closing the space and getting home on the quarterback. P and 10 again for Alabama. Told you, they're a big-time pass-first football team on 1st and 10. The stats say it. The analytics say it. Oklahoma knows it. So what do? They throw an exotic, not necessarily an exotic, but a pass-oriented rush against Alabama on what is normally a balanced down. They take their 3 down linemen, rush them out, drop Marvin Jones. Now we have this big void in B gap for our linebacker to work one-on-one against Jam Miller right there in pass protection. Number 10 does a great job of winning and getting home. Now we've created a massive negative on 1st and 10 for Alabama. It's 2nd and 26. Statistically speaking, in college football, might as well punt it right then and there. 2nd and 26 is not going to be converted over the long haul. This 2-play stretch, I thought, really exemplifies what I'm talking about with regards to Oklahoma's defense. They're so well prepared. They're so aggressive. They have so many good football players that they make it so tough, right? And their defensive coordinator, Coach Venables, is elite. Not a lot of teams doing this. Check this out. Alabama doing a lot of check with me at the line of scrimmage this year, Paul, and letting Ty Simpson dissect what he's seeing, getting a play call for what he likes against what the defense is doing. The only problem here against Oklahoma is they will check when you check. So they played zone coverage. Now, right before the snap, they're going to check down into man coverage, really disrupting the timing of the offense right now for the quarterback. He's going to get to the top of his drop, not really like what he's seeing. He's already getting rushed off the spot because they've got a great pass rush. Ball gets checked down. Now there's the linebacker again rallying to the football. He does a great job putting his hat on the ball, forcing a fumble. Alabama, fortuitous bounce right here, picks it up on the sideline. The very next play is obviously the pick 6. And I want to talk through this because it's another one of these examples of how prepared, how uber prepared this Oklahoma defense is. They're going to give what we call in this channel an orbit motion from the back. Now, when we swing the back this way, we're playing a lot of swing routes from the back. So the defensive end will peel and the additional rush will come from the Mike linebacker. We're going to add that right down the midline and get home on the quarterback. That's important. We get pressure, we force an uncomfortable throw. But what I really want to pay attention to is this safety right here, whose real responsibility is this deep half, but he studied a lot of film, Paul. He does a lot of what we do. He studies a lot of tape, right? He's going to jump that square in right there from that wide receiver in that single receiver side because he knows the quarterback's now going to be playing hot because we've added the pressure in. Bowen does a great job making a play after the play, right? We did a great job forcing the interception. Now let's go take it to the crib and create points off the turnover. Great job there by 1-2-3. I thought it was tremendous effort by the freshman Michael Carroll, all right, running it down until the very end of it. But that's Oklahoma defense to a T right there. Another 1st and 10 a little bit later for Alabama. You can guess it. They're throwing the football, and Oklahoma knows this so much so that on 1st and 10, they're willing to rush 3 defensive linemen. So you're rushing 3. Now as a quarterback, I know I've got time to hold the football. All right, Jeremy Bernard's going to work into a void right here in the middle of the defense. This has been an absolute pitch and catch for this offense all year long. These 25-yard throws have felt like layups for this offense, but they're one-dimensional, and now all of a sudden the quarterback's having a bad day. It's all put on his shoulders, and now we have some of these errant misses because, again, Oklahoma's making us feel really, really uncomfortable. That's about as bad as a miss as we've seen from Ty Simpson all year. And when we're not hitting these types of chunk plays and we're taking massive negatives, we're going to have a really, really long day against a defense like this from Oklahoma. Another 1st and 10 a little bit later. You guessed it, Alabama going to attempt to throw the football right here. Oklahoma going to create pressure. And, Paul, when we create pressure as highly and as successfully as Oklahoma does, we're going to create a lot of protection in our defensive back unit. We don't necessarily have to be perfect. We can have tight ends running wide open down the sideline in a 2-minute drill that would create a massive explosive for this Alabama offense, but our quarterback's already getting hit because we can't protect. All right, and they're rushing 4, and they did a really, really good job of taking the attention away from these 3 offensive linemen and then wrapping number 34. It's all working in unison, and they're creating pressure, protecting what is ultimately a massive chunk play for the tight end here in 2-minute drills. All of the pressure protecting what was a suspect coverage unit right there from Oklahoma. Another 1st and 10 a little bit later. I told you, when you're this one-dimensional and your quarterback has a bad day, or your wide receivers and your quarterback can't quite connect, we're really, really going to have a long day trying to move the football and consistently staying on the field. Ultimately, we're going to get put into what? We're going to get put into 3rd downs. And again, we can't really run the football right now as an offense. So on 3rd and 3, when most offenses nowadays are presenting all kinds of threats, whether it be the quarterback run, the running back might get the ball, tight end might hit in the flat off play action, they're hopping into empty, trying to compete against zone coverage again, and they've got a chance right here to Jeremy Bernard. And all year long, Paul, these have been completions, but on this day for Alabama, it was not. So bring on the punt team. We've lost another opportunity to convert in a possession. Look how tight these windows are, though, man. He has completed these all year long, and this is what we've asked of him, and they have been able to do so, not on Saturday night against Oklahoma. A 2nd and 9 a little bit later right here. Alabama's been an elite screen team. They bailed themselves out of a lack of a run game through having a screen game. They got Alabama on it, or they got Georgia on it. They've gotten several football teams on it. They're not going to get Oklahoma because they're so alert to what's going on to them. I want to point to number 5 right here. We highlighted him early for his physical skill set. Look at Kendall Daniels right here pointing into the backfield. What's he pointing at? He's pointing at Jeremy Bernard, who's lined up at running back, okay, and Jam Miller's lined up over here at wide receiver. Our spidey senses should be tingling. Something's going on. They're doing something funny. What are they doing? They're trying to run halfback screen back into the boundary. The defensive lineman shuts the entire play down, just being alert in his rush. Take a look at this defensive tackle right here. He's going to realize, okay, look, they're not really trying to block me. What's going on? Screens going on. A really high alert defense from this Oklahoma defense. They're not going to give you any of the easy stuff that you normally get. So now here we are again in another 3rd and 9. As a quarterback, we know we have to drop back and pass. As a defense, we know you're dropping back and passing. So what does the defensive end do right here? He dials up his best premier pass rush he can possibly get, and he hits this like the dream that it is. 1, 2, 3, jump, overhand swipe, get home on the quarterback, punch it out, create a turnover for our defense. But our quarterback's trying right here, guys. He's trying to work to the tight end right here, his first primary option. His eyes are in the right spot. What he does not expect is a Debawar, the defensive end, to drop into that window and take away that look immediately. Now we can't play on time. Now we can't play hot. Now the freshman right tackle is ultimately going to get ran around, and we're going to have a fumble created in our own end that leads to points for Oklahoma in a game where points were at an absolute premium. Look how dialed up this rush is. That guy knows for a fact what he's about to throw on number 64 because it's 3rd and 9. They're definitely throwing the football. I can definitely cue up my best possible rush. Now, why are they so one-dimensional offensively? Well, I don't think they're quite the Bama of old at the running back position. Obviously, we've talked about some of their offensive line issues on this network, but this is a prime example of some yardage left on tape that I see consistently every single week when I watch Alabama. Watch the young running back Daniel Hill, and again, guys, these are going to be 2 tough snaps for this young football player, but he is young, and he was a high school quarterback. Guys, we really got to press the butt of Parker Brailsford right here and then cut off of whatever decision this number 11, this linebacker makes. If he wants to go outside, we got to stick our foot in the ground and get vertical. There's plenty of grass right here. There is no way this should be a 1-yard run, but it is. So now what happens? It's 3rd and 5 again. So what do we have to do? We have to hop into empty. We have to put it all on the shoulders of the quarterback. We have to hope that the quarterback can save us again and bail us out. What does Oklahoma do? They throw another exotic at us, walk 6 up, and what do? They bring the corner. Out of all people, they throw the corner blitz at us out of nowhere here in the 4th quarter. And I want you to pay attention to this young running back again. I told you, 2 bad snaps, but I don't think it's on him. I think it's a lot of what Oklahoma's doing to him right now. Let's get the fast forward all the way over here. Look at Daniel Hill. I want you to look at his eyes, audience. Look at it darting all across this defense. Now he's counting. Which one of these guys is mine? Who's my responsibility? What's going on? Who am I going to ultimately have to hit? Uh-oh, I'm on my heels, and now here comes the corner. I don't know how big number 12 is, but he's not 6'2", 245 pounds like Daniel Hill is. But Daniel Hill's going to get ran through right here because he's playing on his heels. He's not exactly aware or not exactly alert to what is happening to him, and I thought that was the theme of the game, as was this. It's 2nd and 20. Why? Last possession of the football game, because we've taken another negative on 1st and 10. Now it's 2nd and 20. We have to ask our quarterback to bail us out like we have had to all year, and we got an option late, but he spikes the football, and we don't get it completed because, again, the quarterback's having a bad day. Now it's 3rd and 20. The quarterback gets us out of it, and it's 4th and 6, and we got to put it back on the quarterback again, and he misses just outside and low and away to Ryan Williams, and Bowens right here gets him up off the field. A tremendous day for the Bowen twins out there at Oklahoma, but you can see this is what Oklahoma's done to teams all year long, Paul. They make them feel really, really uncomfortable, get after them, sack them, tackles for loss, all kind of havoc plays, and they force errant throws and errant mistakes.
Great stuff. The film guy, backed by popular demand. Great to see you the other day in Athens. Thanks so much for the time. We are up against the break after the film guy, and we will be back right after this.